The business practice is how do we keep things on wheels with a vision and a strategy and a direction, and keep both the tension of those two things like very, very alive.
Thank you so much for being here at IPADE. I think it's the second year you come here. Could you please introduce yourself?
I'm a facilitator.
Okay.
And facil, from the Latin to ease, the difficult conversations that we need to have to move things forward. Conflict mediation, I'm a coach. Instructional design, how do we create designs for learning, new ways of learning that center around how we communicate and connect with each other. That kind of links all 3 or 4 of these. And then I'm also a faculty at MIT. I'm a senior lecturer working in kind of focused on how adults develop and mature and how that impacts the external work we do. In other terms, what's the inner work that makes the outer work work?
Okay, interesting. Yeah. One of the questions we thought about was, we have this kind of mantra here at IPADE that asking questions is the art of, or doing business is the art of asking questions. That would be a better sentence. Exactly. What do you think is this sentence or this question that business leaders are not asking themselves today?
How am I getting in the way?
In the way of, or in the way to?
In the way of myself, in the way of my team, in the way of the organization. I think another question would be, how do I potentiate the space between us?
Okay.
And that us can keep changing in any moment with whoever's in the room with me. What do I have to do? What do you have to do? How do I support you in doing that? So it's really around potentiating the space between us.
Interesting. We have an area here at IPADE called human factor, which is kind of unique. It's translated by OB, organizational behavior, which is a poor translation, but it's more like human factor. And one of the questions they ask all the time is, what is success for business people, for business leaders? And you just push me in that direction. What would be success for you when you have those discussions with business leaders?
Yeah,
it's a tough
growth.
Growth?
One word, growth. But I think it's a very complex word.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we think about growth as scale. I think we think about growth. There's many ways we discuss growth. And I feel that growth is about potential of where I'm going, what I'm becoming, and also about choice.
Okay.
Which is choosing where I want to grow, not just growing.
Mm-hmm. So choosing what you don't do at the end of the day, no? So.
Choosing what you say yes to, choosing what you say no to, and being aware of both sides of all the choices we make.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it would be a definition of success for people. My definition of survival for companies is innovation, which means everything and nothing. Or it's difficult to define. How can you help people to choose in which direction to grow in this case? What should they ask themselves to understand how to decide that? What would be a good advice on that?
I would say any of the questions they ask, as long as the questions are this way and not that way. I think a lot of us right now, business leaders, political leaders, medical leaders, front lines of any work that's happening right now, we're in a place where when we don't know and things are changing so quickly, technology, etc., that we tend to look outward. What is the article? What is the research? What is the leader? What is the book? Where do I find the information? And they're doing this. And it's great to ask questions. And I wonder if we ask questions inward right now. I feel that is the question that will serve where we're growing. When I look inside when I don't know, to find the answers.
And you believe people do it less than before? Or any change in that way?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think they are doing it less than before.
Why?
I'm not sure why. I think it's different for each person. And I feel that we're less and less choiceful.
Okay.
I think we're in a world of causation. And causation, in short, it's if-then. If I do this, then this happens. And causation can happen. It's a technological tool. We're learning and learning and learning. It's an academic tool. The more I learn about the thing, that I understand for great reasons, causation. And I think that for businesses and generational passing on, we know if then, if then. The challenge with causation in a world that's changing quickly is we can't learn or understand quick enough about the if-thens. They're getting too complex for us to make decisions that are effective. We can't gather information quick enough about the if-then. And if we live in causation, there isn't much choice. What happens with choice is that I choose the thing that if then you will do this. And so even in negotiation, even in any kind of, in the social, socio-technical world, where we're trying to advance things and we need to have the social structures and the technical structures to make those things happen, the if-thens are external. In the internal, learning about choice, I might have to break causation to make a choice. And I think that's happening less and less because we are more and more deeply entangled in the causation and serving us not fully.
Yeah, and social media plays a role into that as well, no? So you are overloaded and overwhelmed by information at the end of the day. You think that's making humans, I don't know if less humans, but less introspective, as you said?
I would say it is a practice of causation. Okay. In context of what we're talking about, so social media is if-thens, multiply. It's a social if-then causation. If I say this, then they will do that. If I show this, then I will feel that. And I don't know, I mean, I feel we are connecting to ourselves as we're doing it. The fabric has that in it. And there's a strong practice that we're instilling around if-thens.